Over this recent past, as you know, I've been speaking to many singers and entertainers and performers in the Irish music scene, and needless to say, everyone is staying at home, doing the right thing, and not a lot happening in music, well, on the live music scene, I should say, at the moment. But I'm delighted to welcome a gentleman. He's been performing for quite a while. He's from County Fermanagh. Released a couple of albums. A new album actually not all that long out. It's a cracking album actually, which is called Gonna Have a Party, and I'm delighted to say a big hello to Dermot McConnell. Dermot, how are you?
Not too bad at all. How are you keeping, Jerry?
Not too bad, Dermot, not too bad. Listen, good to talk to you from your home in County Fermanagh. Where in Fermanagh do you live?
I just live in a wee village not far from Enniskillen, Jerry.
Right.
It's about 10 mile, a little place called Dermot.
Oh, yes. Know it well.
Yeah,
Tell me this, how many years are you actually in music at this stage? Many.
Well, I'm at it a good while now, on and off all the time, you know what I mean? I just started and I just loved it and continued on, and because it has been very good, and you know, when you get into music, it's a thing that you can never go away from. You know
Indeed.
what I mean?
It's like a drug.
Well, yeah, once you get hooked, you know what I mean, on music, and people just get hooked on it.
Indeed. And tell me this: you perform mainly doing. In fact, you perform all over the country in the social dancing.
We do, yeah. We do. I do definitely do the social scene all across Ireland. You know what I mean? Every county and area in Ireland I've done.
But you've travelled far and wide. I mean, you literally go down right down to the south of Ireland, down into Munster.
Yes. We do, down to the very bottom of Ireland, from Donegal to Cork.
Right. That's a pretty wide berth, all right. And in the
It is, yes.
In the main, it's social. It's all the social dancing scene that you do.
We do the social, but we do it. But we do we do weddings as well, and then we do dinner dances, and you know, all the different other things that comes with the music scene as well. We do all them things as well.
Right, and listen, the album. Tell me this: it's a cracking album. It's called "Gonna Have a Party," and you've written a number of songs on that particular album.
Indeed, I have. Yes, I've wrote the different songs on it. I wrote one, "The Nashville of the West," because I used to play a lot in the west of Ireland and around Mayo and Galway. So I wrote a song about the Nashville of the West, and then I wrote another one. It's called "Put On Your Dancing Shoes." Actually, I was in hospital one time, and a couple of years ago there, and about 3 years ago, and I was in, and the nurse came in one day and she says, "To pass the time, Dermot," she said, "why don't you write a song?" And because she put it in my head, and I wrote a song about "Put On Your Dancing Shoes" that people goes out and enjoys the music. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's certainly something to be able to do a song just like that. Well done, fair play. That's good. I must say that the Nashville of the West, that particular song really has captured the imagination. It's proved to be very, very popular for you.
It was a very popular song. Actually, it was really popular when I done it, and everybody loved it, and especially down around down the west of Ireland, because we were getting calls from all over the place then, because of, you know, the song. People loved the dance beat of it. You know what I mean? It was a good upbeat dance song, jave. You know what I mean? It
was, yes. Oh, definitely, yes. It's got the. It's got that beat, certainly, for jiving and all that, and of course, needless to say, it would be popular in the West because of the you know, about the Nashville of the West. Now, there's another song, interesting one that you've co-written, which is on the album as well, and that was one which is in "My Heart Is in Fermanagh."
Correct. Yes, I co-wrote that song with a man from Roscommon, actually.
Oh.
A man called Jack Flynn, and actually he sent me different songs, and we were talking about one and about our own town, and so we put it together, and I put it to music, and we brought it to the studio, and because it turned out very popular now, because there's radio stations loves that song. They've even contacted me about it.
Right, excellent. It is a lovely song, I'll have to say, from having listened to the album. Now, you had a previous album out, Till We Meet Again, My Friends. When was that released?
I had that out, I'd say, about 2014,
right.
14, 15, around that end, and there was 12 tracks in it as well.
Right, some good tracks on it. We Meet Again, My Friends, a beautiful Western Waltz, and
yes, Michael Cummins' song that was.
Oh yes,
old time waltz. Michael Cummins from Mayo had wrote that song, and we had covered it, and it was a great song as well. But we had some good songs. There was a song by John Farry as well on it. But on the other new album as well, I have a song there written from a fella called Mike Fallon. Wrote a song called Beautiful Ireland.
Right. Yes,
Mike. It's an old time waltz.
Right. Yep. Mike Fallon is, I believe he's from County Galway.
Correct. He'd be actually an uncle of Mike Denver's.
Oh, yes, indeed. Indeed.
And actually is another song written for me at the moment, and we have it done, but the way things is at the moment, we're just waiting to see when we get the go-ahead to go out there and send it out. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's a little bit tough. So it is actually the song is actually recorded and all, but it's just a case of sort of getting it out there. So tell me this: how are you getting on? It all suddenly came to an abrupt end in early March. At this stage, you're off the road for over 2 months, which hasn't happened to you for a long time.
No, it's for the first week of March. We went off the road. I think we were playing in Moat on the Sunday night, and that it just finished that week then, and we haven't been on the road since. Right.
It must be a major. That must have been a major shock to you.
A major shock, but a couple of nights before that, I was in the Allingham in Bundoran playing on the Friday night in the Allingham here, and people was talking about the thing coming in that time, and it was just coming in that week, and actually that same week after it was gone. The music scene was gone.
Indeed. Yes, it was. It was looking at that stage. I'd have to say it was looking bleak. At that
looking bleak, but that, I suppose everybody was in the same boat. Jerry, you know the score yourself.
Indeed, very well. So Dermot, tell me this: what have you been doing since? What are you keeping your time occupied with?
Well, the way it is, I'm lucky enough to been born on a farm, so I be out on the farm, and we work at the cattle, and my son Fergal is along with me, and he does help me on the farm as well, and as you know, he plays in the band as well with me.
Oh yes, that's right.
He's a piano player.
Right. Now, the music, the thing about it is that the music certainly is running in the family, because your daughter actually released a couple of tracks.
Yes, Rachel has 2 new singles there done within the last 12 months, and she's actually 2 more done as well, but she's waiting to see what the outcome of this as well.
Yes. Are they actually recorded?
Yes, down with in the studio. But Rachel loves the music as well. She just turned 20 there, and she is very big into the country music. Right.
It's in the blood. Couldn't sort of not be.
Well, I don't know about that now, but we all try it anyway, and I say there's nothing beats a trier.
Indeed, and you've been trying well for a long time, Dermot, I'll have to say. But you keep yourself busy, at least on the farm as well, and you've certainly accomplished loads over the years, and you've obviously you're popular, or you're playing in all those venues up and down the country, from Cork to Donegal, as you said. So obviously you're definitely doing something right.
Well, we're doing something right, but also there we do even relief, as well, for the big bands as well. We often go on 2 hours before them in different venues across the country, and sometimes there'll be a 4-hour show there, and we would do the first 2 hours, and then whatever band would be coming on,
Right.
show band, they do the second 2 hours.
Right, excellent stuff. So you're a busy lad. Between the writing, the recording, and all of that, you're a busy lad, and keeping yourself at least busy. There's always something to be done on the farm, so at least you're not sitting around doing nothing.
No, and thank God we were blessed with the last few weeks of good weather, so it was even nicer.
Indeed. That's one thing about it. An interesting thing I was going to say is that a number of people have been commenting since the lockdown, even though it's not as much in Fermanagh as it is in other places, pollution is far less.
Far less. We often wondered, you can see lots of blue skies now, and we often wondered it looks very nice.
Indeed. I have to say it looks it definitely does. That's one of the pluses, I suppose you could say, of the whole situation.
One of the pluses is correct. So it is. But we love it's great to have the radio stations to listen to the radio stations, because especially the ones that's playing the country western music, because that's my first love of music, if you know what I mean.
Right. Who are the influences? Who sort of brought you into the country?
Well, I always was into the country, always down my but I always used to love Mick Flavin when he came out first, and all. I thought, oh my God, he's a great country voice, and he was doing the real good country stuff, what I'm into myself, you know what I mean? Yes.
He's a giant of a name indeed in music. It's hard to believe that is actually 32 years ago since Mick Flavin started out.
That is correct. Actually, there back in January, there was a weekend in Sligo in Innisgrown, and actually Mick, we were doing the backing, and Mick was on the show, and Mick was singing with us, and we had a great night, and he's just the same as he was years ago, you know what I mean?
Indeed.
Same man and great country, the same thing.
Great voice. Dermot, listen, it's been lovely to speak to you. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Listen, I wish you all the success in the world, and as they say, stay safe, stay well, and hopefully we'll all see the other side of this, and better times on the way.
Well, I hope you're right there, and with the help of God, as what you say, if we stay safe and stay well, and we know a lot of people has lost loved ones, but please God that they'll come out of it on the good side, with the help of God. And I want to thank you for even taking the time to have a chat. So it was great.
Real pleasure, Dermot. Real pleasure. Thanks very much indeed.
And thank all your listeners. And as the man says, onwards and upwards for us, both of us.